Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
And I'm Thomas Kislett with the Rome Floyd Chamber. Good morning, Roger.
Hi, Thomas. How are things?
Splendid. Long weekend ahead of us, so that's always a good thing. New month is starting, so sun is shining, I think. Yeah, everything is splendid.
Chamber of Commerce Day, as we say.
Correct.
Speaking of the Chamber, we've got a great group of folks here in our Zoom room. Could you please introduce our guest?
Absolutely, and let's do ladies first. We have the Junior Service League here, and we have the president, Christine Pilgrim, and Megan Otwell. She's the PR chair of the Rome Junior Service League. Then we have R.L. Jennings and Associates, and we have representing them Lee Jennings. He's the CPA there and the managing partner, also the CFSCA. And then also new business that we welcome to Rome. It's Easy Auto, and we have Ben Chandler. He's the president and COO, and Casey Tuggle, director of marketing. And it's going to be a fun round. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi there. Welcome. We are still on Zoom, but fingers crossed we are going to get back into our studios at the Rome News Tribune after Labor Day, as the world is slowly but surely getting back to normal. I think we can all agree on that. And just following up on Thomas here, let's go ladies first, and let's talk Junior Service League of Rome. I did a little Googling around on your website. Been around since the 1930s.
That's correct. Yes, this is our 87th year of service to the Rome community.
Okay, just give me Junior Service League 101. What is the organization about? What are your goals? What do you do?
Well, it's kind of wide-ranging. The primary purpose is to serve the women and children of Floyd County, and we have done that in all sorts of ways throughout the years. We used to sell TB seals, 60 some odd years ago. We've done hearing and vision screening, speech therapy. We used to provide speech therapists before there was like that dedicated service within the public schools. Nowadays, we have a couple of different things that we do. The first one is our League for Learning program, which provides school supplies. Oh, it's a little bit of feedback. I'm sorry. I'm talking over myself. So we provide school supplies, and I just want to make sure I give you guys the right numbers. Last year, we served over 2,500 students in 16 schools, and that amounted to $16,000 worth of donations.
Wow.
So that's one of our big fundraisers. The other thing that we do that's not really related to women and children, but is just related to, Rome in general, is that we are the owners of the Chieftains Museum. And so I believe that we took ownership of that building in like 1971. We had it put on the National Register of Historic Places in like 1973 or 74. And so we support them financially. They're mostly self-supporting financially. I shouldn't say that, but we do give a portion of our fundraising every year to help them. And then, of course, we also own the building. We also have community partnerships. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've had the Chieftains Museum on the show before. It's a great facility, and I encourage people to go check it out. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
Oh, no, you're fine. And I totally agree. I didn't know. I mean, the history of Major Ridge is amazing. Somebody needs to make a movie about that because it would be a blockbuster, I believe. But we also have community partners. And getting back to that mission of women and children, we typically select community partners who serve women and children in Rome and Floyd County. And I have a list. I won't go, into the list right this minute, but of organizations that we partner with. We provide them with volunteer hours. We do grants, I guess you would say biannually, once every 2 years. And we also provide them. We have service member drives where we provide them with like school supplies if they need it, or cleaning supplies. That was a big need during COVID. And so we help our partners in that way too. So it's a multi-prong, many services that we provide, multi-prong approach.
Megan, did she cover everything? Megan? Did she?
Sorry. Yeah. The only other thing that I would add is that, every other year we do different fundraisers. Of course, every year we do the poinsettia fundraiser. I believe this past year we raised $47,000, and they're actually the same poinsettias that are at Disney World. So one small plant allows for one student's school supplies. But then we also do our garden tour and taste, which we had this year. And then this coming February, it's February 4th and 5th, so mark your calendars, we will be bringing back Follies. That was rescheduled. We were supposed to have it in 2020, but because of COVID, it got put off. So we're really excited to bring that back this year.
Okay, great. Just kind of going around our initial little openings here. We'll check in with Lee Jennings. So Lee, at RL Jennings and Associates, I'm just going to assume you're real good at math.
I'm good at numbers, not math. There's a huge difference between math and numbers.
Okay.
My wife is a math teacher, but I am a accountant who interprets numbers. I always tell people the big difference is a math person works really, really hard to get the answer. A CPA tells you what the answer means.
Oh, you need to put that on a bumper sticker or a T-shirt or something.
My wife gets so frustrated. She gets all involved trying to get the answer. And I'm like, just get the answer, then I'll tell you what it means.
So tell us a little bit about your business and your background, just traditional CPA services and taxes and things like that.
Yes, we're a full-service accounting firm or CPA firm, and we do what CPAs are licensed to do, and that is provide attestation services on or opine upon financial statements and other, related such matters. And that's what CPAs, you go through the trouble, get licensed. That's what you do. We've been in business since 97. I've been in the industry since 85. I want to admit that. We have two offices, one here in Rome, one in LJ. Our client base really now is worldwide. We've been, fortunate in that we've been able to, reach across all lines of countries and all. We work a lot in Europe. We're starting to do a good bit of work down in South America. We've kind of built a reputation dealing on an international level. So it's been interesting and fun. I just had a meeting yesterday with some folks who are based out of Jamaica who are looking to do business here in the U.S. We serve, like you said, we on our attestation side, we serve governments, banks, manufacturing companies, nonprofits, the whole range of, different, industries, as well as we provide, because we're divided into two divisions. We have what we call our assurance division, which provides the attestation work. And then we have our small business division that provides the traditional corporate tax preparation, individual tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and those kind of things. So we have two clear, distinct divisions. We have, roughly 20 some odd employees between the two offices. And so, it was done well. We won Small Business of the Year, I believe it was in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. I hadn't looked at that number lately, but we've been very blessed and very fortunate. And we continue to grow and reach more and more businesses. Like you say, with COVID kind of made us really hone our remote skills, I guess is a good way to say it. We've been able to stay connected through our clients through the remote process. We've done so many Zoom meetings. I've lost count, especially now with our European and, clients that aren't, local. We use a lot of, either Zoom or Teams, and some of them, have some other, in-house programs they use to communicate. So it's been a very, interesting time the last year. We've been very busy, trying to help small businesses, especially with the payroll protection, loans, the EIDL loans. Of course, now the employee retention credit. That's what we were just discussing before, we went on this. Is the IRS and the Treasury has finally put out some regulations regarding how to apply for this credit, and it's it's a very lucrative credit if you meet the qualifications for it. Of course, as well as, the PPP was, and of course the EIDL, which PPP's kind of petered out, but the EIDL loans, are still going. They're typically on a 30-year basis with like an interest rate of 3.75%, which is very, cheap money from a commercial side. So it's been, a very interesting year, to say the least. Is, we're experiencing growing pains because we look like everybody else. We're having a difficult time hiring staff, or qualified staff. And, our industry has been facing a decline in people becoming CPAs for the last 20 years. And we've worked hard to try to reverse that, but something that took 10 or 15 years to create can't get solved overnight.
Sure.
So it's an interesting world. Every day we face. We've got a new administration in that's changing rules every day. I say what I say today may not be good tomorrow. So we better go back. Always look back and see what's going on. Yeah,
as they say, elections have consequences, and a lot of times you find that out, regardless of administration or party. You have to find that out from your accountant at tax time, especially. I do want to circle back around with you, Lee, in a minute. I'm interested in this international business that you've developed, but let's check in with the guys at Easy Auto, Casey and Ben. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Well, tell us, I went to your website as well. You guys have several locations. Tell us a little bit about your business and what sets you guys apart.
Sure. We started Easy Auto in 1991 on the heels of being in the new car industry for several generations. We have 6 locations today, including Rome, Georgia. We help good people that have had credit issues in the past get into good, reliable vehicles as can be. And we have over 8,000 active customers, and we look forward to serving the Rome community in the greater Floyd area.
Okay, so you said your background was Cars Forever?
Cars Forever, yes. So we actually opened up in 1911, the South's oldest Ford franchise. It was CC Car Ford here in Cleveland, Tennessee. And it survived through several iterations and remained 1993. We had always sold and financed used cars off of that lot and a couple other new car franchises, and decided to get into independent sales and automotive financing exclusively in 1991, and just never looked back.
So what have been the challenges over the past, year with COVID for you guys? As Lee just mentioned, some businesses was able to continue on Zoom. People were still able to meet, but what about you guys trying to sell cars?
The first 30 days going into the pandemic were definitely a challenge. We had to rethink the retail environment. We were uniquely positioned at our locations to where we could accommodate remote purchasing. We offer a home delivery service, which was already built into our offering well before COVID hit. That became increasingly important during the peak of the pandemic. But just like everybody else in the world, we adapt to remote work and telework. And outside of about the first 2 months of being, off kilter, we got into a nice rhythm, and the company, not only did well, it thrived over the last 18 months. So we're happy to be here, and the challenges that we faced, I think, made us a better company today.
Well, that's great. Casey, and what is your role there?
Marketing manager.
Okay. So what's your elevator pitch to tell people how great y'all are?
Well, I think Ben summarized it well, but yes, that is the goal. Is we're trying to help as prices of cars keep escalating higher and higher, and new car prices are at their highest ever. We're trying to help people get something good and reliable that they can actually afford. And I think that becomes more and more important as time marches along. It's more important now than it was in 1991, because people are getting fewer and fewer vehicles per household as they get more expensive, and they have to have something they can depend on because they don't have an extra vehicle to use to get the kids to school or to go to work. So that focus on reliability is a key thing for us.
And where are your locations again? If you could just list them for me.
All right, let's see if we can do this without any reference. Cleveland, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Knoxville, Dalton, and Rome as of today.
So you've crept into Northwest Georgia. Welcome to Rome.
Thank you.
We were talking a little college football smack prior to the taping here. You guys have some volunteer lean to you. That's a little off-putting. But sitting here in Northwest Georgia, we get Alabama, we get Auburn, we get Georgia, we get Clemson. You know, we all love football, right?
That's right. Well, at least we're Rome Braves fans, right? So I mean, there's something. Yeah. We actually love Rome. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's the rare city that's growing off the interstate. It has a lot of its own character and personality, and we're really happy to be there. We've really enjoyed walking along Broad Street, and it feels a lot like our home up here. It's got a great community feel, and we're excited to be growing in West Rome. I think there's some new interest and activity over there, and we were happy to kind of be part of that movement forward, be on the way up.
Well, great. Welcome to town. Thomas, I know, Thomas, we like to find a connective tissue sometimes between the guests, and I always rely on you because you're the chamber guy. You're the tip of the spear here. So what's the connectivity here between our guests today?
Wow, you caught me early this time. Let's see. I thought about, honesty, which includes help and support. Each of our guests, supports some type of a good cause. The Junior Service League, obviously, women and children, they provide supplies, they support the community. What we just heard from Easy Car, they support households to have a reliable vehicle. And, obviously numbers, maths, what does an answer mean? You got to be honest, with that outcome there as well. So, the theme might be honesty today.
Good one. Before the end of the show, I'll ask you to say it in German. That's a tease. We won't do it just yet. Okay, let's go back to the Junior Service League here, Christine. Like you did some of the history of the organization. It goes back to the 1930s. What's the membership? How can people get involved? What are your numbers? The organization itself.
Yes, we have about 55 active members right now. And typically, if you're in the Junior Service League, what you serve is it's a 6-year commitment. You have a 1 year as a provisional, where you sort of learn everything that we do, because there's a lot of moving parts. Hard to believe. We are a volunteer organization, but the people in our membership do treat it like a vocation. And so you have a year to sort of figure out what all the requirements are. And then you have 5 years of service. After that, you can become a sustaining member. And our sustainers are very important to us. They still continue to pay dues. Of course, they support all of our fundraisers. And so they're a very vital part of JSL. When you're done with your 5 years of active service, you're not really done. You have the whole rest of your life to help us out. But for somebody who wants to join right now, we have an application, and those are typically due, I want to say middle of March. We usually have some sort of info session. Last year, we had it at Riverdog, somewhere around town, where you can come and meet some of our current members, and then you need to get that application in. You typically have to have 1 sponsor and 2 endorsements. So those are just people in the community, usually people who have already been in Junior Service League, either are always somebody who's either a sustaining member or an active member who can sponsor you. And we can help you with that if you're interested, because you may not know everybody who has been in Junior Service League, but we keep a very detailed red book with all that information. So if you're interested in joining, go to our website, jslofrome.com, take a look at the application. There's a couple short answer questions. We take our application process pretty seriously. Start thinking about who you may want to be your sponsor and endorser, and then reach out if you're, missing 1 or 2. We can help fill in those gaps.
So it's obviously it's a labor of love, because you talk about it. So everybody kind of throws themselves into it. Yeah. Can people make it work with other jobs and family and things like that?
Yes. That's the thing that is sort of crazy about our organization, is that it's 100% volunteer driven. But we have like the most tremendous roster of professional people in our organizations, whether it's doctors, school administrators, nurses, teachers, attorneys. So it's kind of like these superstar people who keep on digging deeper and finding more time. Sometimes I don't even understand how it's possible, but we do have a superstar roster of members who represent pretty much, every different industry in Rome. And it's just incredible to me to see how they find time. But, we do have required volunteer hours. We have required meetings. The nice thing about the volunteer hours is that you can usually pick a placement that works with your schedule. So if you say are a nurse and you work 4/10s, then maybe we can find something for you that accommodates that one day of the week that you have off. Like if you have off a Tuesday, well, that's great for a placement like, say, for example, a school that needs somebody to read to students or help students with homework, because a lot of people are busy Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? So that rare person who's available during the week is a rare gem within the organization. But we also have weekends. And then a lot of people, now that COVID has come along, and really prior to COVID, but I think as everybody else has said, COVID has accelerated. A lot of nonprofits have digital needs. So I have had somebody say, hey, I don't really need you to come in and sit in an office or sort through something, but can you help me with a grant application? Can you proofread? Because I'm an English teacher in my non-league time. Can you proofread a grant application for me? Or can you draft 50, we have to get these donation letters out. Can you do that for me? And so those things can really be done on your own time. And you just sort of track those hours and then you report them back to us. So I do think that COVID, and then we also have required meetings, of course, but, a little secret, and Megan, you're going to get the inside track on that. Now that we've successfully completed a year that included some virtual meetings, I think we will allow some virtual meetings going forward. There's nothing that can replace that person-to-person connection. And so we moved back to in-person meetings last year, outdoors to keep them socially distanced and safe. And we're moving back to regular in-person meetings for the fall. But I think we will allow opportunities to Zoom into meetings because, there are some people in our organization who are very professional, very well resourced, and we don't want to miss out on that person because they are busy on Tuesday nights. We have so many like school administrators who are like, I can't make the meeting because that's the same day the school board meets. I'm certainly not going to say no to a professional like that. And so we make it work.
What grade go ahead.
If I just could mention something really quick, I second every word Christine just mentioned. And, I just want to warn Casey and Ben and Lee, they are champions of reaching out and finding you. And, at the end of the day, they make you dance in front of an audience, and not just the normal dance. They make you wear coconut bras and dance in front of an audience. So they are champions of reaching out and making you work. And, it's all for a good cause and it's all fun.
Yes. And I will say, our membership right now is limited to ladies, but we are in desperate need of gentlemen for our follies because we have 50 some odd ladies, but there are lots of, parts for men and we are always needing those. And like Thomas said, especially if you're willing to make a fool of yourself, that's highly valuable. So coconut bra, grass skirt, dressing up like Tarzan, dressing up as a chimney sweep, anything like that for follies. Those tasks are usually reserved for the gentlemen in our group that are mostly husbands who put up with it.
Thomas, is it safe? Have you worn a coconut bra, Thomas, or were you just...
Well, you are a journalist. You can find that out. You can dig in the archives. There might be a fun story you find.
I can get some pictures.
Oh, so, okay. I've lost my train of thought now.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I actually did want to ask you, what grade do you teach? This is off the subject, but what grade do you teach? Where do you teach?
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so up until this very year, I taught at Georgia Highlands. I taught freshman English, composition 1 and 2, and I've been doing that for the past 10 years. But as of this fall, I am joining the staff at West End Elementary as a 5th grade language arts teacher. So I'm moving down 10 years from 20-year-olds to 10-year-olds.
Well, you are speaking to a proud former West End student.
That's great. That's wonderful. I'm so excited.
I had Mrs. Bernard for 2nd grade, Mrs. Burdette for 3rd grade, Mrs. Berrien for 4th grade, and Mrs. Biondo for, had a whole lot of great teachers there.
It's kind of scaring me that you still remember. I'm kind of hoping that if I don't do a great job, my students will just be out of sight, out of mind. But you're telling me that what I do has a major impact.
Oh,
that's kind of nerve-wracking.
People remember their elementary school teachers.
Yes, they do.
I loved it there. We only lived a couple of blocks away. I got to walk to school. It was great.
That's the dream.
I very much enjoyed my years at West End playing Pee Wee football for the Warriors. Shout out to all my former West End Warrior classmates and teammates. Lee.
That's awesome.
Let me circle back around to Lee here because I wanted to follow up with Lee about how have you grown your business internationally, kind of being a CPA, and I think you said your offices were in Rome and LJ. It's not like you can go, meet somebody for lunch on Broad Street to solicit this business. How did this happen? How did these doors open for you?
A lot of it is word of mouth. We've been working with some of the international companies, here in Rome,
there we go.
Manufacturing. We did a little bit with Pirelli, but then we got, it all went back to, we had a client whose daughter started to work with the State Department. And of course, you work with the State Department, you travel, and she's traveled all over the world. And so she kind of sprinkled goodwill for us throughout, various countries. And we're a member of IR Global, which is a international group of accountants, lawyers, and consultants. And so we've been a member of them for a while. And, it's kind of one of these, they ask you to be invited. But like I say, majority of it's been word of mouth of other clients. They've heard of our reputation and all. And Rome has a pretty diverse international community. And, we've tapped in well to those folks. And they've referred, people, can you help my cousin who lives in Chile, or can you help my parents who live in India, or I have a friend in Germany who has an issue. So I was working on a lady's return just a few minutes ago who's from Germany. She's a U.S. citizen, an expat living in Germany, and says I got to file my taxes so I can get my stimulus check. But a lot of our business is word of mouth. People hear about us, and hey, I work this guy, because we have clients all over the U.S. now, and they'll refer people. Hey, I've got a friend that lives X. Can you help them? And then, oh, by the way, they've got a business. Can you help them with? They're looking to do business, and a lot of people in other countries are looking to do business in the U.S. because of the of the U.S. economy, being as strong as it is. The negative interest rates over in Europe, where they're charging you to keep money in the bank. We're working now with a client from Monaco who wants to, start investing here in the U.S. and, divest himself of his investments over in Europe, because he's not making, he's not making any money. He said, if I'm an investor, I got to make money. I can't pay the bank to hold my money.
The best way to grow business is positive word of mouth. I mean, you can market all day long, you can advertise, but when you got a satisfied customer or client telling their friends and neighbors and family, I would imagine that's true in any industry, even in the car business, right, guys? I do want to ask you guys, you might need to unmute yourselves there. I'm looking on the screen here and I see that you're muted. I want to ask you guys, what brought you to Rome? What made you want to come into the Rome market?
So there are a few things that really attracted us about Rome. One of them is the size of the population is really substantial for where it is located, not being on the interstate. We were really surprised at how many people there were and how vibrant it was and how it was growing. And so we love getting into any community that is growing. That's one of our main criteria, because we want to grow with that community. And when we looked at the history of Rome, I honestly was surprised. I'd been to Rome a few times, but I never realized just how much work there was to bring this resurgence and bring this riverfront redevelopment and all of the energy that was going into making Rome a more vibrant place. And we thought, okay, that's great, because we are with our customers for years. We depend a lot on repeat business, as you said. So we want a community where people are going to stay and live and work and play all in the same area. and we want something that they can be proud to drive, because seeing a nice truck or SUV or Jeep that they got from us is some of our best advertising. So we want a community that's really community centric. And we did not honestly want to deal with the Atlanta market. And so, Rome was a very attractive location that felt like home and feels like us, and had a nice population with steady growth.
And it has a great junior service league.
That's right. I keep hearing that. Our president actually looks resplendent in a grass skirt.
Okay, Ben, they may be coming after you.
That's probably a different podcast.
Yeah. Well, let's go around the room one more time. I kind of want to do here is contact information. I guess, Megan, with you, are you guys on social media, website, phone numbers, or Christine, whoever wants to jump in here? What's the best way for people to connect with you, follow you, support you, join you, donate to you, etc.?
I'll let Megan answer.
We have a Facebook and an Instagram, JSL Rome. And then we also have the website, which can be found on that. I believe that's jslofrome.com. Christine, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I might be.
Yep. jslofrome.com. That's right.
Okay. I'm new to the publicity chair, so I'm still learning all of these things. But I do run the Facebook and Instagram. So if anyone ever has any questions, feel free to reach out to us, shoot us a message, and we'll be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Beautiful.
And also, if you're looking to buy poinsettias at Christmas time, or if you're looking to buy Follies tickets next winter, you can buy all of that through our website. We're slowly but surely becoming a digitally oriented organization, and anything that you want, any of our fundraisers, we do all of that online now.
All right, that's great to know. Lee, what is some contact information for you guys at R.L. Jennings and Associates? Are you on social media or website, things like that?
RomeCPA.com is our website. We are on Facebook. I just got through posting an international article on Facebook while we were sitting here, and one came in on the new tax thing. Our phone number is 706-802-1945. Like I said, most people contact us through the web because we have a very interactive website. We're actually in the process of revising it. So that's a lot of people just go to the website. Our email addresses are on there. You scroll down to where our members, and our emails are very simple. It's our first name at romecpa.com or ljcpa.com, depending on which office you work in.
Beautiful. Ben and Casey, what's the actual street location of the new Rome facility for you guys at Easy Auto?
Yep, 1954 Shorter Avenue. Feel free to come by. We just opened this morning as of the taping, so July 1st. We actually have been open for all of about 2 hours now. We are very excited about that. So you can come by now, take a test drive. And we do have our phone number. It's 706-413-8574. We are at easyautoonline.com, Easy Auto Rome, Georgia on Facebook, and Easy Auto Online on Instagram.
One of the things that you may not know Rome well enough yet, so I may be putting you on the spot here. One of the things that we have noticed when we do this show, when people tell us their locations, they usually reference a restaurant.
We're right by the Little Caesars. If you drive past, let's see, what's the Red Lobster that's on the right, and you're driving west in Rome, keep going past the Red Lobster, and right before you get to Little Caesars, we're on your right.
Oh, okay. Thomas, final word from you. We need the German translation for honesty.
That would be Ehrlichkeit. So long word, complicated word, but never mind. But thank you to all of our guests, and what we just heard from Casey. It's a testament to our community, and that goes back also to what the chamber does. We all connected. We all do love word of mouth that puts us on the map, even internationally. And, that was just a picture book, community outreach here. So, if you guys just look a little bit deeper in each other's organizations, I think there is, tons of business possible. Just look at the member list of the JSL folks, and Kristen, Casey, and especially Ben, I hear, is a great dancer on stage. And, Lee as well, I'm sure, you want to buy some nice Christmas gifts, and nothing better than a nice, bunch of part of poinsettias. So great group, great meeting, and love you all.
Thomas is just trying to make sure everybody in this podcast gets in the follies, isn't he? Well, one thing I've noticed, Thomas, is interesting through this show with R.L. Jennings and Associates with Lee. You've got a business that's tried and true. They've been around in Rome for 20 or 30 years, whatever it was, and they've grown steadily, and through word of mouth and doing a good customer service, they've grown their business. The market itself has attracted a new business. Easy Auto has come. They look at what's going on in Rome, and that attracted a new business to come join us. And then on the service to community side, you've got the Junior Service League, which has been around since the 1930s, but continues to attract a new generation year after year after year to continue to serve our community. So it's kind of a cross section of different ways that Rome is such a great place. So that's my final pontification. So
bravo, Roger. That was awesome. Nice wrap up.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We do appreciate it. For Thomas Kislett, I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio. You've been listening to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thank you so much for listening.